Alright, so welcome to the video for lesson number 2. This video is meant for my accelerated class because we're going to do something a little bit different with these on your own questions. So in class I asked you for the on your own questions to use the website Desmos to go through and figure out where the points of intersection are going to be for these two equations. Now one of them is a linear equation. I know the first one is linear because it has y to the first power and x to the first power. Since the second one has x squared and y squared, I know this is going to be a circle because that's all we know how to do with x squared and y squared. There are other things that come up that way, but for right now that's all we know. So to use Desmos, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the website desmos.com. It's going to look like this. It'll first start with just having one equation. We'll add the second one in a minute. And then we're literally just going to type in the equation that we have. So the first equation is 3y minus 3. So we'll just type in 3y minus 3 equals, and then it's negative 3 times x minus 6. So we'll type in negative 3 times x minus 6. And it graphs the line for us. We can move the line or the equation so that I can see more or less of it, etc. Then we'll graph the second equation. So the second equation was x squared. So to get x squared, we could just do x and then hit this button here, plus y squared. And then let's just go back so I see minus 8x minus 4x minus 8x minus 4y plus 15 equals 0. Let me just check that. Plus 15 equals 0. Good stuff. And we see our two graphs. One of them is black, one of them is green. Yours might have different colors. You could actually adjust the color by clicking here. Right, you can make it whatever color you want, etc. You turn that off, turn it back on. But we do see that it clearly indicates the points of intersection, 6, 1, and 3, 4. So that tells us when we did this algebraically, we actually could have got some nice answers here. So that means it probably came out to be factorable or something along those lines. So what I want you to be able to see is that if you just kind of graze over on top of it with the pointer, you'll get your point of intersection. So you have 3, 4 and 6, 1. So all you got to put here for what I'm expecting you to do is write 3, 4 and 6, 1. And again, we did that right on Desmos. Nice and easy. Let's take a look at the next one. So next one, I know that the first equation is going to be a parabola because it's x to the first power and y to the second power. Now for this one, there's a lot of interesting things we could do, right? Just to look at algebraically, I would actually move this x and this 9 to the other side. That's going to give me 6y equals y squared minus x minus 9, and 6y equals x plus 27. Now the reason why I like to do that is these 6y's are now equal to each other, so I could set these equal to each other. And then I could just essentially do double substitution, and it'll make this question a little bit easier to do algebraically. But remember, I'm not asking you to do this one algebraically. I want to just be able to do this in Desmos. So let's go back to Desmos for a second. To clear what's in there, you just hit the x's. And we'll type in our first equation, 6y plus x minus 9. 6y plus x minus 9 equals, and y squared. So we get this sideways looking parabola. Interesting. The next one is 6y equals x plus 27. 6y equals, 6y equals x plus 27. Plus, minus, and we were good. Yeah. All right, so we could take a look at this graph. So we could zoom out, we could click and drag, and it'll kind of just move the graph to where we see. And we do see that there is just one point of intersection. It's right where that gray dot comes up to be. So that's 9, 6. So we get the coordinate of the point of intersection here of 9, 6. Now, the nice thing about Desmos is if I'm doing a homework assignment, I can kind of check my answer before I even do it, so I kind of know if I made a mistake or not as we keep going. So let's take a look at the homework. So it says solve the quadratic linear system given below, and I see that the second equation has something that's in common, so I could divide everything here by 2. So I can rewrite that as 2x minus y equals 4. That's important, because if I solve that for y, so if I add y to both sides, I get 2x equals 4 plus y, subtract 4, and now I know that y is equal to 2x minus 4. That makes our lives a lot easier when solving the equation above. So when solving the equation above, I'm going to take this and replace y with it. So I'm going to say x plus 3 squared plus 2x minus 4 squared equals 20. So now I have it so that the x's are only left, no more y's. So if I multiply all this out, so I have x squared plus 6x plus 9 plus 4x squared minus 16x plus 16, that's all equal to 20. So now if I go through and combine some like terms, I have 5x squared